Well, cheers, Blue Owl. It's good to see you, man. We got to at least entertain those bots. I mean, they're paying something to somebody, probably. Someone has to see it and click it, Kano. Chat room, we're coming back to Songs of Six. So we're picking up the playthrough that we had going previously. So the city's already up and rolling. If you have no idea what this game is, simply put, it's a city builder. If you have an idea of what this game is, long put, made the description of it essentially is you build big city and sometimes things attack you. It's kind of like... This game is kind of like Pharaoh on steroids. And LSD. You build cities on really big maps with... Well, this is actually kind of a small city. It's only 500 people. This is the world map, and there is like a faction warfare game that you can play in the overworld. There's a combat screen for in your city fighting, and of course, the city management. It's a game about managing resources, keeping people happy, keeping different populations of people who hate each other happy, and watching a lot of people walk around. We are playing the Kryptonians primarily, with a few humans. They're like for studying and such. You get so overwhelmed with this game? Yeah, I feel you. This game is kind of scale, the video game. I was trying to make that into like a sale reference, but it kind of didn't quite work. So I can't remember anything I was doing in this playthrough, so we're gonna have to figure it out. Genuinely can't, I know I had to import food pretty recently. We're exporting opium. I don't have a lot of money. Probably need more random benches and stuff. Fortunately, we actually have like furniture now, so that's in supply, so I can just like plunk down benches and stuff. But we're gonna try and like increase the general, not happiness, that would be a bit overreaching by us, but we do want to increase the general satisfaction of the people who live here. So I think I'm gonna actually clone this janitor. We're gonna make another janitor. Currently we got 2 odd jobbers, right? Yeah, because we just lost like most of our population in kind of a crappy event that happened, so we're trying to fix this. This is Songs of Six. Jackie moves, yes. This game looks kind of dope. If you want to try this game, play the demo. It is the full game, but 3 versions behind? 3 versions behind. I'm in an ad, so I'm waiting for it to end. So it's nothing like Dwarf Fortress, and the reason I say that is because the creator of this game had never even heard of Dwarf Fortress until after he released this game, and people kept saying it was like Dwarf Fortress. This game is the brainchild of a guy who really, really likes Pharaoh and Caesar and all those impressions city builders. Liked the multiple race management from Dungeon Keeper, but also wanted to just play Rome Total War forever. So it's like he took, totally worth it, and it's right, yeah, there you go. So he kind of is taking his favorite parts of those 3 games, and allegedly, I haven't messed with the campaign stuff at all, but the campaign stuff is supposed to be inspired by the game's myth in their storytelling. So it's kind of like a weird mashup of things. The reason I say it's not much like Dwarf Fortress is it's a city builder city builder. You're not going to be memorizing usernames and like world history. It's not a story generator at all. It is very much a mechanics-driven city builder. Kind of think about it this way. It's sort of like if somebody made RimWorld but was like, hey, yo, what if we removed all of the annoying bullshit and just made it a game about like managing drones? Because it's a lot of that. Also, Master Spike, thanks for the 18th month check. Can I get a big round of beers for Master Spike? keeping that subscription alive and helping keep the stream funded. Appreciate you, mate. Also, I should check because I haven't in a bit. We've cleared the daily minimum by $41. So thank you. I hadn't looked in a little bit, so I figured I'd check. So these people are all desperately in need of a shower and throwing poop at this guy. I think probably... What do you need? Available services 2 of 9. Let's increase your employee count, I think. Needs access to fresh water to function properly, so... Yet they do at the same time bring fresh water here. I think I'm going to do something kind of, not weird, but I'm literally going to go all the way down to here and just build a big-ass bathhouse. I know I need metal for it, and I don't have that. I also need more food supply. I got 10 metal, which is like nothing. Feel too scared to play it? Yeah, I know that feeling. Also have no... 14 per. Because there's a few different industries right now that I need to increase drastically. One of which is bread, but bread is getting up there. The other one is alcohol, because alcohol uses stuff that I already have generally in surplus, which is grain, although currently we're out of grain, which is kind of funny. So my bakeries and breweries are using all of my grain farms worth of grain. So I'm gonna try and see if I can start exporting bread and importing grain. Curious if I can make that worth it. Like, how much would bread sell for? 18, and how much is importing grain cost? $13. So I would make a profit importing grain. I think I should just farm more grain. But I am going to export bread. Actually, you know what? Let's not export bridge. Let's just bread. Let's just stick to opium. Let's just stick to exporting opium. We'll just do that. Because we are certified good people and you cannot accuse me of otherwise. And I'm also going to clone this sucker. I'm gonna put another trader down somewhere. Maybe up here. Plop 2 more of those in. British Empire strats. What, exporting opium? Sure, this is kind of a game about being the bad guy. I can be a bad guy like the British. Speaking of, it's going to be a vegetable farm. This is a grain farm. I really wish that the room copier would tell you the fertility of an area. Because I find it's quite frustrating to build a thing in an area and then realize afterwards that the fertility is so bad that you might as well have not built it. Oh, I see the area, it's not connected. Why are things not connected? Oh, I see, right there. I will say the biggest change between now and the last time I played is it seems like stuff like trees take way longer to chop down. It's probably the most noticeable change I've had. Because I need to change this so that we actually have enough grain. It's an opiate farm, another opiate farm. Fruit, 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 fruit. Vegetable, vegetable. This grain is topside up here. I think I should be heading closer to this thing, so we're actually just going to copy you and immediately plop down a second one. So this is how big exactly? It's 44 by 33. Let's do 40 by 44. This is going to take a lot of workers, I think. Chainsaw mod? I mean, it's very, like, low fantasy, this game. Like, it's, like, orcs, elves, weird blue people. Normal fantasy tropes, you know? But, like, with its own oddities, sort of like the way Dwarf Fortress does. But yeah, I don't know. Watching this game is sort of like watching Factorio in a way. Especially when you go to the denser parts of downtown. Also, the fact that this game runs in Java is one of the weirdest things about this game for me. Like, it's genuinely strange to me that this game runs in Java. I'm also going to get rid of this, and I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to go down the middle here. I'm going to double up the size of this, I think. Except maybe make it a grain farm instead. I'll build the grain farm out to there. And then this can be a bigger central plaza. Because that's not great fertility. I mean, it's not bad, but... but your production lines might revolt. And also not boring. Unlike Factorio. And also, at least for me, this game doesn't feel like work, whereas Factorio does. How dare I? I've been daring to say that for a very long time. First of all, how dare I have an opinion that's different from yours? Enjoy your video game. It's okay. Fortunately, in this instance, I'm the weird one with bad taste, right? So I can be the weird one with bad taste, and you can enjoy video games I don't like. That's fine. We can still be friends. I might slightly resent you, but I won't hate you. It's going to be a very breadless year because every chunk of my grain farms are probably going to just go into building new grain farms, but I don't know what that weird one singular block of space is there. Oh, I guess 'cause it's connected to that other thing. This gave you a great idea. Don't not expand my DF playthrough to a point where catering to the needs of your doors feels like a job. If playing a video game feels like a job, it's time to, like, sorry to just, like, state things that annoying people say all the time, but touch grass and go outside and get a social life. Like, quite literally, the point where the thing that you are doing for fun and entertainment stops feeling like fun or entertainment, it's time to go find a new source of fun and entertainment. I realize that that might be a shocking thought for some of you, but like, you will do better as a human being if you enjoy the entertainment that you are giving yourself. The other thing I should probably build is a clay pit. Question is, where is the nearest clay? Oh yeah, it's all the way down here, isn't it? Like all the way down there, which is actually like literally really far away. Let's make dirt roads along here. You think it was waves of enemies and it looking like a mud puddle, but it's just you? If I am playing any kind of base builder, city builder, or factory builder, or anything, and there's a point where I go, oh, I have to delete 2/3 of this and rebuild it because it's not going to work anymore, I don't really want to play your game anymore. Because you just made an interesting, like, creative / puzzle game turn into a game that I suddenly feel like is work, and that kind of loses a lot of the entertainment and fun for me. But like at the same time, I realize that is why people like Factorio. Like literally that is the appeal of Factorio, is that it feels like work. But it's also why I have a hard time enjoying Factorio, so. I mean, hey, if it works for you, more power to you. Okay, so export depot. We're gonna pull from here. And we are going to export fruit. Adjust it. Tis odd to me that I can't tell them to only sell so many. I guess, like, I have to have a particularly limited warehouse for that stuff if I want them to sell less of it at that particular location. It's just odd to me, I guess. All right, our wealth is going up a little bit. What do I want to sell? That's in range. Let's go from here and export bread. Oh, that one's just grain. Well, in that case, we'll sell through there, and instead of exporting bread, I will export veggies, I think. I currently have 13 days with the fooch, so we should be good. What do I need to know about the lead dev of Factorio, as I don't pay any attention to Factorio? Because I'm sure there's something I should probably know. Based on that comment. Because like many things for me. Also, chat, could someone tell me if I am in the correct directory or not? That would be very helpful if you could do that, chat. All right, well, we're selling things. How are we doing on the alcohol? Am I selling grain? What? Apparently I'm selling grain. So you're importing pots. What are you importing? Opium. Well, that makes sense. I sold some grain. I mean, I didn't make the aesthetic of this game. The developer did. But I think this game looks cool as heck. Oy. Oh, okay. Got it. Makes sense, Soul Shinery. Which make you don't want to support the studio. Okay, well there you go. That's a shame. Watching all the little dudes zoom around. Yeah, no, this game's kind of hypnotic. So at this point, the best thing you guys can do for me is just help me keep the chat moving. Probably go for another hour and a bit, depending on my brain capacity, because I'm actually getting a little tired. Turns out drinking a cup of coffee at 7:15 a.m., finishing it by 8 a.m., the caffeine starts to wear off around this time. Back to Songs of Six. Did I ever leave, though? 8 hours straight is tough? Not really. I think anything 10 hours plus is. For me, it depends on kind of two things. Am I enjoying the game, and is chat active? If chat is active, it doesn't really matter how long it is, because I've got something to pay attention to and do. If chat isn't active, it can get kind of tough, yeah. Like if chat's just super dead, it can get kind of rough. Fortunately, though, chat's generally not super dead. Chat's generally pretty functional. Build a little housing area down here as these odd jobbers come in. I wonder. That's just one of each. Popping in between flights? That seems unfortunate. Hopefully it's not too long of a layover. Which is this interesting game? This is Songs of Six. This is a city builder that is kind of like Pharaoh on crack. It's a game that is made by one developer who just really wanted to make his dream game. And he is. It's a weird combination of kind of Factorio style building to a degree, with the same kind of like little characters running around and whatnot. A bunch of ideas taken from the Total War series, a bunch of ideas taken from various city builders. It's fun. Is it my first city, though? I don't know what you're asking. Was there a UI update? The developer has updated the UI like a dozen times in the last year, so which one? I don't know what Trikeen is. That blows. Orange. I mean, if you're asking me, is this the first city I've ever built in this game? Absolutely not. No, I've been playing this game since like before it released on Steam. Because it was only on itch.io initially. I'm also going to get rid of this grain farm and replace this area with a more central giant plaza centered by a laboratory. Big one. So if you make rooms that are too big, the ceiling would cave in. So it doesn't penalize you, but it shows you that yellow zone, and that yellow zone is basically informing you that, hey, this is too big. Can't do that. So it makes you make some creative designs, and I like that. If this game didn't have all of the benefits for the creativity stuff, I probably would actually feel like it's too Factorio-y for me. But because all that stuff's optional, it's not bad. It's fine. Oh man. Do this and that, and other things. And then I can put door... Let's make the doors this. You can do roads going in and out. And then let's also put these doorways. Requires stuff to be built. Move doorway. Is there no roof button? Kind of want to just put a roof over this, because that's the other tool. Quite large? Oh yeah, quite large. Fortunately, I do have a surplus of workers, so it won't be too big of a deal. Let's also just make this cobblestone. It also helps that most of this is furniture and or wood, so it won't actually be too time intensive to build. Yeah, the music in this game is feels a lot like The Witcher to me. And I also just love the amount of detail that actually goes into the construction, like just, little guys grabbing and whacking different areas with a hammer. It's like, yeah, it's a single couple frame animation. Like, it's very simple. You should just try the demo. It's free, and it's literally the full game. It's a little shinery. But the lab, it's for researching. The way you research is you need labs, and then labs build you research, and then you have like an inventory currency of research, which is this number 652. The more technology you have, the more labs you need to have to upkeep your technology, and eventually you need to start making libraries and paper to store your technology, and you can lose tech levels if you stop researching. Oh, you've tried it already. Got it. You know, this game has been described as many things in my chat, Orange, but cute, that's a first. Just waiting for an opportunity to buy it at this point. Got it. I mean, it was 20% off not too long ago, but... I mean, it's about to leave early access anyway, so at this point it may actually just be worth waiting until it leaves early access, you know? Yeah, so it's 3 versions behind. I love how the game's just like, oh no, we can't do this because we're out of a resource, and I'm not actually sure which one it is. Ah, I'm apparently out of stone, which is very easy to acquire more. I just need to go over here and say, clear rock. Can you build like manors and castles? Oh yeah, big walls and whatnot. This city is what I would describe as early game, so don't look at this and think that this is endgame. This is very far from endgame. Research in most games is too straightforward to yourself. Research in most games is too gamey for my taste, generally. Like, I don't mind things being simple, but when it just feels arbitrary and gamey, it just kind of damages my ability to feel convinced that it's realistic or believable, I guess, is a way I would put it. We're in an ad break, so pause. Actually, here, we'll just lower the speed down to 1, so nothing major will happen anyway. I could see that, Redro. Yeah, no, I mean, endgame for this game is when your population is above, like, 8,000. Like, if your population is sitting above 8,000, then congratulations, you're getting close to endgame in this game. But the scale in this game is just so absurd that, you know, this is also kind of a game that if you want to move at an even remotely decent pace, you have to play on the fastest speed. Because this is very much a fucking hurry up game a lot of the time. In the middle of winter, we got 10 days of food left. Ain't bad. So this little building down here is laboratory number 1, which has 18 workers in it. I might actually get rid of this laboratory and put something else in there, like a restaurant or something, but I do have one right there. So I might put something else into this. Whereas this area over here is just going to be probably my main / new laboratory. Man, clearing these trees almost makes me want to settle somewhere that has no trees. Like, seriously. Because they take so long to clear. What's the speed of our furniture output? Damn. Okay, you know what? Sorry, I'm going to have to change your access. We're going to have to lower down the amount of furniture you guys get. I know it's going to make you really sad and you're going to cry yourself to sleep every day. But they're all putting away their furniture. They're all giving up their furniture from their bedrooms. We're doing a mass recall of IKEA. Because it turns out I want to actually get things built this year. Is this like Banished Winter? Ah, it can be, if you're not prepared for it. Everybody can die in the winter. This game's pretty forgiving, though. It's more just of a, like, if you fail in this game, in my experience, it's not generally a game over. It's usually a, you're wasting your own time, if that makes any sense. Because that's generally the majority of it, is it's a, well, congratulations, you've made your own things take significantly longer than they would otherwise. So the only person you're really robbing is yourself of free time. So it turns out gathering all these rocks takes 1 billion years. There's also something super satisfying about watching them work fields and patterns in this game. Banished would have to be an interesting game in order to have interesting winters, I feel. But Banished in a vanilla state is just such a dull, boring thing. We're coming through winter now. The winters and the seasons go by up here. It also can't be that cold here because it says it's plus 11 game temperature units, which I don't know what any of those units or temperatures mean. But what I can tell you is that this place doesn't snow, so it must be pretty warm. Did they update Songs of Six? This game's been updated like maybe once every 3 months for the past several years. Okay, so if you go back in my channel's history, I have an interview with the developer and, I don't know, 200 hours of Let's Plays or so. Or VODs, I guess. Let's Plays is probably a bit disingenuous, but VODs. And when I started this save, I hadn't played it in 452 days. According to the... Because, like, the save says when you last loaded the last save. But I streamed this last Friday. Was the last time I streamed it. They lost a bunch of their happiness after I took their furniture away. All right, let's give you guys 1 furniture unit back. And see how much that costs me in furniture. Also really need this stuff to get set. I guess we'll just do this. Delete jobs. Just clear all these ones up here. How easy is this to pick up? How good are you at finding really well hidden UI? Because, like, as a game, it's not super hard to pick up. But, like, this is a menu that's very important. This is a menu that will get important, although I don't have the ability to use any of this stuff yet. This is a menu that's very important. This is a menu that's very important. This is a menu that's quite 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 important. That's the start menu. I I think the difficulty of this game is just figuring out what all the menus are, where they are, and when you need to look at them, because there's a lot of UI and 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 nested UI and screen and screen and screen and screen and screen that do different things at in different situations. Like I'm not actually sure what this UI is used for. Like, I know what it's doing, but I don't fully understand why I need it. So there's a lot. But it's pretty easy to pick up and play. It's just really hard to master. You know, I feel you there, Redro. I feel you. So the actual answer to your question, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. But it's like, it can be a lot if you're not really anticipating what this game is going to throw at you, if that makes any sense. And as far as what this game's going to throw at you, it's generally just like a lot of, wait, where's that menu again? Which I guess is kind of a Dwarf Fortress problem. This is the same save as last Friday, yes. Sure, Soaps. Sure. How you been, mate? Here's the beauty of 6, though, is it's completely free. You can just go play it, because the demo is literally the full game. How's Linux treating me? It's an OS. It acts like an OS. It talks like an OS. It's just the same as just about every other OS and sucks in unique ways like every OS. The worst part of Linux is how everybody acts like it's this life-changing decision that I've made that's going to completely alter everything for the rest of my life, get me laid, and also change the way I think and make me join 2 religions. It's an OS. It's fine. That's it. What's the catch for this game being free? The demo is the full game. It's just 2 versions behind. Is the catch. So just go download the demo. It's the full game. You know, I've had this very strong opinion for a long time, Khalith Dragon. Every single operating system fucking sucks. But for completely different reasons, right? Linux is clunky in places. Windows is clunky in places. Windows has shitty ads in it and questionable security. Mac just sucks, but is quite usable and has some advantages. But in other ways, just sucks. By that I mean most ways. What made me make the switch? Microsoft. Do I need to elaborate? I don't think I do. Pretty sure I can just say Microsoft and you'll catch the drift. I need more janitors, I think. Yes, I do. Never mind. Nothing actually has degradation, so. Well, a guy can't do decisions like think about things. Well, hard enough or big enough. Microsoft isn't hard enough or big enough. I feel like there's a dick joke in there somewhere. You know, I've never once actually had Windows restart my computer during a stream without my permission. Like, that's always kind of bonkers to me that people have that happen sometimes. It's just like, how do you let that happen? Like, just schedule your restarts for times of days where it's not an issue. Which has always just been what I've done, but... You've had a weird set of issues, and it's been standard for you since you got Windows 10 11, and you shut your computer off at night, and if you do that, it just ignores your schedules. You know, they have so much control over your computer. They might as well just, like, have the ability to turn the computer on and then update it for you. But yeah, I guess for me, I don't like console wars. And this is the issue that I have with Linux, right? I don't like console wars. I think that stuff's silly. And I feel very similarly about, like... I feel very similarly about console wars as I do about, like, operating system arguments and discussions. And I think that because people who really like Linux can be very evangelistic and annoying to people who don't, it's just kind of an annoyance for, like, everybody. For me, largely. Is really how I feel about that. All right, let's go do some research. And go unlock some pesky things. Why don't we unlock the gem mine? Because I'm pretty sure I have some gems that are close by. Yeah, they're literally like right here. Wait, no, those aren't gems. Those are birds. Where is gem mine? Pretty sure there was a gem mine close by. There it is. Okay, it is relatively close. Not as close as I thought it was, but not super far. There's also a stone deposit over there. Coal up there. That's a fungus road. Not the road I wanted. I wanted this road. I think it's this one. Dirt road, yes. Carving a city into a mountain DF style? Diggings takes so long in this game. It's such a slow process. But yeah, I do tend to agree. It really does feel like you're playing little insects in this game. Let me actually get rid of this laboratory. I just built this gigantuan thing. Like, let's actually minus that down to nothing and increase you. Maybe not all the way up, because I still need some odd jobbers. There isn't enough swimming. Well, that's kind of funny. My lighting sucks. Some people like harmony in nature, and certain buildings emit harmony, such as trees. This is liked by your plebeians, and higher value equals more fulfillment. All right, well, let's go build trees, because that makes sense. Which is kind of funny because they require, like, wood to build. It's like a petri dish? Well, let me say this about this game. This game's not that hard to get into. So if it seems like the sort of thing that interests you, I do wholly recommend that you try it. Because if it's a game that grabs you, it's similar to Dwarf Fortress in that it's very, very, very much worth your time. That's what I'll say about this game, is it's very, very, very much worth your time. It's exporting and exporting. Is the stuff gonna get eaten immediately? Feels like every single time I make booze, it's immediately gone. Wow. It's kind of crazy that we're actually gaining a little bit of a booze supply here. I mean, I'm up to 10. That's kind of nuts. You bought it and you're having a blast? There you go, Wizard Man. Getting the demo ASAP after what I said? There you go. Let's also see if building these trees helps. I feel like environment is going up ever so slightly. Yeah, it is. Basically, I'll say this. If you want to enjoy this game, just like click on everything. So if you click on everything, you will figure out what you need to do a lot quicker. Where is statue? Maybe decorations? I do think that this change that he made to the UI, though, in this area, kind of sucks. I'm not in love with this tech tree at all. Let's just get work safety. Spend some various research points on that. I'm sure that'll probably help people's moods a little bit as well. What the heck happened here? Oh, there's one wrongful death. Well, okay. Well, we're back up to 80% loyalty, which is good. Yeah, the soundtrack's pretty lit. I am a fan of the soundtrack for this game. I think it's very good. I wish there was more of it. This is one of those soundtracks where it's like, yeah, it's really good, but like, I wish there was more of it. It's very much one of those soundtracks. Because like, yeah, it's good, but on the flip side, I think it could be a lot better. And the fact that it's only just good, it's kind of a negative almost when you're like, well, like, yeah, it's good, but like, it could be incredible if there was just more of it. And that's very much how I feel about the music in this particular game, is it feels like there could be more of it. So I'm going to build a tavern. I'm going to connect it to this back area behind the brewery. Because then I won't need to build supports for roofs. I see that as a win. Okay, maybe in one spot I do. So the door is going to go back here. Tables, chairs. I'm also aware that I'm making this pretty small and compact. It's fine. Knickknacks. It's just... Oh, that requires cloth? Oh, man. If these require cloth, I can't actually do them. Well, that's unfortunate. We'll have to do something with that later, then. It doesn't compare to Dwarf Fortress YouTube chat. Sorry, I didn't see that for 30 minutes. They're very different games. Not everything is directly comparable. So chat room, it's Tuesday. What you guys doing this week? I'm assuming working for most of you. At least for myself, my plan is just quietly reinventing the behind the scenes of my stream with that blog and trying to get through the stream week, you know? Like this, June is always a kind of a toughy month for your boy here because just, you know, having an older audience means everybody is busy in the summer and doesn't watch Twitch as much. So, you know, gotta survive and get by and function. Volunteering for American Red Cross. What you doing for volunteering? Yeah, I mean, the kind of volunteering stuff I'm doing is just around the building. Which is not particularly, how do I put it? It's not rewarding, that's maybe the wrong word to use. But like, it's not as immediately as obviously fulfilling as volunteering for something like Red Cross. These guys really like the opportunity to run down there and skinny dip. With the tic-tac thing, the kids do. The tic-tac, right. Because that's definitely something the kids do. They want to give me some money and a bunch of furniture. You know what? I'll take it. Let's build a structure. I'm going to make a wood building. I'm going to move my throne. That's what I'm going to do. What? Well, all these jobs need to be canceled. I'm not entirely sure what happened there. Although maybe it's got something to do with the fact that I literally never use this option for constructing stuff. You respond to disasters and provide aid? Seems exciting. Jobs, overwrite. Oh, I see the option I should be using. It should be this, right? Yeah. I get it. Delete jobs. Although populations are going up now, which is good. Turns out my slight additions to the place have improved general happiness. Should start buying human slaves when they come by, though. Let's go down to here and grab structures. Yeah, okay, so we'll leave everything on default so I get walls. That is weird. Why do you work this way? So I've never actually used this tool before. I'm trying to use it. And it like the first click and drag you do creates walls and the rest of them don't. So I'm just thinking that that's a little odd is all. It's like I'm suddenly misunderstanding how this mechanic is supposed to work. Yeah, and then also clicking back doesn't actually build anything. Well, I'm gonna let them finish that building regardless. They'll finish it eventually. It'll work the way I'm expecting. I feel like that should be the default. But where's overwrite? Wooden ceiling, wooden building, convert, wooden. How come I'm not seeing it now? Do I have to place something to get it? Convert buildings into this type. I don't see this option. Yeah, no, I don't see this. I mean, obviously, like, I could, like, make a circle, but... Yeah, no, it's definitely changed. Anyway, I screwed up my room now, so... You thought it was there? Here's the thing. I stated this earlier, but the developer of this game has updated the UI like a dozen times. So just remember that. Ironically, I will say, the UI for this game has gotten a lot better than it was in the past. It's all good, Joe. Goal this week is to catch up on some games and read. Need to write. That's pretty okay, Adventure Dan Man. Until you do. I recommend waiting until the stream's done, Red Euro, and then go to my VODs channel, !VODs, and watching part 1. Because that'll help you get started, and you'll also get to see me fumbling over all of the UI that's changed since the last time I played. Because there's like UI and UI and UI and UI and UI and UI and UI in this game, but at the same time, a lot of it can just be straight up ignored. Like, a lot of it you don't need until endgame. Also, I don't really know how different the demo is from this version, so. I was gonna say, somebody just died. That's fun. But to be completely honest with you, I'm not an expert and I don't understand a lot of things about this game, so I may also not be the best person to be looking for advice in this game. because being completely blunt with you, I'm not very good at this game. I try, but I'm not very good. Man, I would really prefer to just learn pottery and not have to import all these pots. Okay, well, fortunately, it's pretty cheap. Okay, what's the most I can put into it? So now I can make pottery. So I'm going to stop this. We're going to stop importing pots. And instead, I'm going to import clay. You're also going to import clay. We're going to learn to make pottery. You got a skadoodle? Oh no. Well, we'll see when we see you, Alfie. Just going to delete this room. Max out the number of people that can be employed over there. And this is going to become a pottery place. Which fortunately is nice and cheap from what I can tell. The auxiliary station take. Okay, so it's just more stone. That's good. Okay. Also, you know your UI is a maze when Dwarf Fortress players are saying that your UI is a maze? Like, genuinely? It's like maybe the most condemning thing a Dwarf Fortress player could say is, man, this UI is a maze. At least when we're talking about this kind of stuff. So now I just need to get an export of... Shit, what am I... Trying to export opium. Let's just export stone. So I need something that I can sell, and I can sell now so I can get some income so that we can, in fact, get some clay. So this pottery shop works, 'cause right now it doesn't. There's no materials for it, but here's hoping. Because this stuff is relatively cheap. It doesn't really matter if it's lucrative or not. We just have to spend it, you know? There we go. Now I've got clay incoming. So dudes are gonna both put it into their houses and also start making pottery. And for pottery, that's gonna use -82. Where is the actual pottery portion of this menu? Okay, so I've got 156 currently. So breweries are using some... So in total, we're using 23.52 pottery, and you are producing how much pottery? We'll find out as soon as you acquire some actual pottery, with some actual clay to make into pottery, which we're not at yet. Apparently I'm producing 0, even though there is clay in here. I I don't understand. Seeing all the villagers as slowly move is so satisfying. Oh yeah, no, totally. This game's very much got that down. Like, just a screensaver of this would keep me entertained for quite a while. I mean, I guarantee you people export poop, if that's what you guys are talking about. People most certainly do that. What am I missing with this? Am I missing somewhere to store it? That's gotta be what it is, right? Where's the nearest storage site? It's right here. I think I'm gonna drop this down to 0, and we're just going to scroll till I find pottery, which always takes me a minute for some reason. There it is. And there we go. Now we have space again. So are you going to give me an output now? There we go. Okay, so I'm producing 14 pots. And if I go up here... All right, well, I need to be producing more pots, basically, is what that means. Gotta pick up your roommate. You'll leave a lurk, though? Or maybe help you on when you get back. We'll see. I mean, how long have I been doing this? I can't actually look, because now the game's frozen. 73 minutes. We'll see. Depends on how active chat is. If chat stays super active, it'll go for a while. If chat quiets down, I'll go water my garden. It's up to chat at this point. But it is always a possibility that I may still be live when you get back. That's not what I wanted. I wanted to give you walls. That's what I wanted. But I also need the metal for that, and also fancy blocks, so we'll probably just let that sit there for a little bit. How is this stuff coming along? Slowly. I also need metal bars. Honestly, converting buildings from one thing into another in this game is super fucking satisfying. Like, genuinely, it's super fucking satisfying. I'm gonna just build some apartments like this, because this is how I like to build apartments in, like, weird little messes of towns. Something that's also interesting is the characters, they go and get housing close to where they're working. What am I growing? Fruit, vegetables, opium, and grain. 6 young, bro. Sure, thanks. But yeah, they take housing close to their jobs. So if your jobs get further away from your housing center, then all the houses become abandoned and your people become homeless and you have to move your housing closer, which I think is super neat. You know, if I happen to have money when the next traders arrive, I may. Or the next slavers arrive, I'm probably going to buy slaves. Speaking of, I could just start enslaving people. That public transport network update. Oh, true. Yeah, if they added like trains or something to this game, or like horse and buggy to move people around or something, or ox and buggy maybe, I'd be down. I might make a breeder. I know that sounds weird out of context, but it's literally just a room that lets your characters make babies. It's like a nursery, essentially. It's a place for them to store their kids. No, that's not the right words. Abandon their... No, raise their kids. It's basically just like a kid's nursery, essentially. What are you ming at? It's definitely got nothing to do with what I just said. Time to get rich like Elon Musk's dad did. By being a bad person and uprooting gems. And that'll be something else we'll build. Raise their kids? Yeah, with a ball of fire. Or a blaze of glory, I mean. What in the world are we talking about? Alright, guys, I need you to have more access to furniture now. This part is kind of fun to watch, though. In high speed. Just bridges getting built. Just remember, this is a game that used to have add hookers and blow on the to-do list for the roadmap. And then he added breeders and opium. And I think taverns? I don't know if taverns actually counted towards that. I feel like if I was developing a video game, I would just have things on my roadmap that are like sort of jokes. Like that, where it's just like, add blackjack and hookers. Just put that everywhere, and then just like, you know, add like some form of gambling. Immigrants, a group of humans have decided to leave your city, renouncing their citizenship and your rule. This is a sign of weakness. Make sure you increase your loyalty so that this will not happen again. How many of them are leaving? None? Okay. Well, that seems fine. Bet a medieval casino in that forest would make a great addition. It would really make the room, you know? Oh, there we go. Now they're all leaving. The humans kind of hate me, to be fair. I'm gonna start indoctrinating them. Teach nothing much than how gracious you are, and your kingdom is, and it will make your citizens more submissive. Turns out humans don't like being indoctrinated. Kind of get more loyal quickly, but also lose other bonuses, such as happiness. What about hooking? Are you... Is Twitch punishing you for your titles again? Suited? Twitch is big bully. God damn it, Twitch. Killing all of our fun before we can even get it started. Got a food cellar for sale, or a food food spot here. Just going to make this into a food stockpile. Just a little bit of everything. How's my pottery supply doing? I feel like I should really, really, really make another brewery. Which for me right now is this. Should be pretty easy to put together. Get us a secondary brewery. But I'm also gonna need another pottery spot. How much clay do I currently have? A good amount. Okay, so I need another pottery construction place. Which I could probably just cram into one of these other buildings. Which I may actually do. Just have to find one that would fit it. What about ladies? Ladies can like civilization too. No need to be sexist. Even if you're unintentional about it. This is going to be another big plaza, methinks. Yeah, see, there you go. Let's include everybody. So did we just completely fuck up that harvest or something? Because we're into winter all of a sudden. Am I still selling all my food? Probably check that. Yeah, we should probably stop doing that. As good of a crop as they are, and as good of a thing as they are to sell, if you're not careful and you start selling all your food, you're gonna just run out of food. It's literally the only thing that happens is you run out of food. Well, let's try and get some of this, get rid of some of this stuff, and then you can swap over to opiate. Because turns out, I have kind of a lot of opiates. No work within this race. It's literally right there, guys. Bizarre. Regardless, we can start selling this stuff. We're still importing this clay back home. Building another pottery place. Making bread. Clay is pretty high, all things considered. we have a decent number of clay pots. Still with a net negative of 4. But my goal here is to get a steady stream of alcohol coming in. So, you know, got a ways to go. Especially because we're going to need more people in here in a moment. Got to write a thesis about Mesopotamia. You got to get your hook into your topic. No, totally. I personally think that, like, a lot of the... You know, it's really funny. It's, in a way, I think, like, Twitch is overcompensated for their, like... What's the word? Twitch is overcompensated for their moderation. Like, they got some really strict feedback for years about how they moderated, which I don't necessarily agree was necessary, but... And now they've, like, almost over-moderated in a lot of ways. And I think it's really funny. Opium is the only, I don't know how to say it, drug you have in this game currently? Yeah, it's just opium. Although opium is literally like heroin. Like, opiates are pretty intense, so if you're gonna pick a drug to have in a video game, that's a pretty good one. Also, religion is more cult activity, less drugs, in my opinion. I wonder if it would be upset if it would be upset about a cult with this game. Like, are you asking my populace would be upset about a cult? I guess I don't fully grasp what you're suggesting. I'm gonna have to import some cloth in a moment here. It's interesting that that one can't be placed there. Let's actually move these huts down to here. There we go. And we're building a nursery. A lot of this game, to me, is just figuring out exactly what the bottleneck is that's holding up your production supply and your, like, population growth and the people that want to migrate to the place that you live. Because whenever you find that one thing that is causing the bottleneck, your population just, like, explodes. It's kind of wild, actually, how quickly it happens, too. Because when, like, a population, like, say the orcs or something, suddenly decides that they're happy living here again, then, like, suddenly you just, it erupts and you get 200 new migrants in a pretty short period of time. Like, we got a bunch of abandoned houses up here right now. Like, this does need some work, but hey. Okay, so still sitting on net -4 for you. So you just need cloth. That's all I need is 36 cloth. Imagine getting random groups of people of the city joining together to create cults. I mean, sometimes you can get roaming gangs that just run around stabbing people to death. It's not quite a cult, but it's equally vile. But yeah, I mean, if you start to piss off the populations in this game, like, you can get some pretty gnarly outcomes. Let's import cloth. Waiting for my money up here to drop. You're definitely stopped at 130 pop for an hour now. Glad to hear. Basically, like, start digging through the buildings that you have access to right now and see what's the thing that you need to build that will fix all of, like, the current happiness of people around, right? Because there's usually one or two things. And once you stumble upon that one thing, it'll pretty quickly fix things. Hey, Omegas. What's up? Thanks for gifting a sub when I was off stream, by the way. Which made me happy when I saw it pop up the next day. I think it's time for somebody to go get mauled to death by a wild animal because I need to hunt for stuff. We are running kind of low on food because I neglected to upkeep my food for a year and sold a bunch of it as revenue, which is never really what I would describe as wise. But now we can get that breeder up and running. Do armies fight in real time? Yep, it's kind of like light Total War. But combat is pretty infrequent in the early game in this game, and this is a game where, like, you'll build a city and it'll take you 500 hours to build that one city. Like, it's a game that you can spend time in a singular save. So because of the pacing of this game, you're not necessarily going to see combat for quite some time after starting to play this. So we're going to lose a couple some loyalty and some population probably in the next minute. So our food supply is painfully low, but fortunately it's a short enough amount of time that our food supply is going to be low for that we should just, like, climb up pretty quick and not be in a bad spot. Actually. Found it. That's probably the problem. I can appoint nobles and I haven't yet. Master of Feast is the host that specializes in boosting the production of alcohol-producing and savory snacks. These give you passive bonuses and make that like species happy, or that race happy, I guess. It's the ruthless noble who will stop at nothing to boost the production of opiate poppies while free citizens benefit from their instruction. Their slaves fear them. Master of the Forge, Refinery Industry, Slave Master, Master Builder. The Master Baiter is, in fact, the, like, fishing guy. I didn't make that up. Master Treasurer, sure. So that should give them happiness based on the government, right? Well, I mean, that just skyrocketed. Because you need to fill these bars up, right? So now that we have nobles fulfilled and suddenly a new thing that we are providing, people are going to be happier. Although now we're not providing any food because we're now officially out of food. Or not officially, but we're almost out of food. So they're going to be mad at me again until we get food. Fortunately, it's only 2 days until food, so it's not too long. We'll survive. do need some odd jobbers still, so we'll move you down. You would be the master baiter of the medieval times. The growth of our grain farms is showing much promise this year, and if the gods are willing, we'll be extra bountiful. I feel like I kind of need it, so certainly would not mind. The other thing I need to do is... It's especially fun when you get the notification, by the way, about the breeders, when it's just like, your babies are dying because you literally don't have enough food. No, I need to import. Not you, I need to import metal. And I need to import. Okay, well, I do have some stuff, some space in here. Now I have no money left. It's almost like they're importing all of that stuff. Dreamy Cretonian noble. I don't know about you. I don't know about you, but nothing about that sounds dreamy to me. There we go. All the metal has arrived and can now be distributed, including into the new restaurant down here and the new bathhouse down here. We have 5 babies in this location. And general happiness is crashing and burning. And the reason the general happiness is crashing and burning, well, it's pretty simple. We're out of food. Surprisingly enough, I know this might shock you, they don't like it when they're out of food. I know it personally shocks me every time I read that. It's like, out of food, really? Ungrateful bastards. They don't thank me for the times I provide food, and then the second I decide I'm gonna limit their food, they get all upset with me. We must have just finished another work site because suddenly I need more people. But the good news is we now have food again and are currently harvesting many a grain and many a vegetable. So that should just skyrocket back up now. McNuggets? No, these guys, the orcs are vegetarian in this game, believe it or not. So McNuggets ain't gonna cut it. Unless they're veggie nuggies. Okay, so who's my criminal? Arrest subjects without any justification. And will result in complete drop of happiness for said race, and make sure you have enough guards to get them before they revolt. Which is always fun. But now as the food supply goes up, happiness goes up. As happiness goes up, loyalty go up. And as loyalty go up, we get more population. So the population should start to move up now. Yeah, I too quite like the vegetarian orcs. I think it's kind of, I mean, like, they'll eat meat. They just get upset if you make them eat meat. Like, if meat is their only food supply they get kind of perturbed after a while. Speaking of, let's go into access and actually give them access to cloth, because I do actually have some cloth in the city now. Down here, we have 60. We are importing it. And it's not too expensive to be able to import, so if I can make them happier by giving them slightly better access, that might not actually be a bad idea. Speaking of access, still slowly building this way. Slowly, slowly, slowly. We're up to 572 duders. As the food supply climbs and climbs. And what are we up to now? Like, mostly just grain, period. Keep climbing that grain counter. Workload is low, hey? But I am actually producing alcohol. It's just at a pretty slow supply. The thing is, when I have grain, I produce alcohol at a pretty rapid clip. Problem is, doesn't matter how much grain I have, I'm not producing it fast enough. At least we have okay. I am using quite a bit more pottery than I'm producing, so I need to actually get that other pottery location up and running again. This one. Fortunately, it looks like our population is climbing almost as fast as I can assign them to things. Because we're currently sitting at a whopping 96% loyalty, which is incredible, by the way, between making some nobles and also making a place for them to keep their kids, and also finally getting, you know, some cloth sent out to them. That is massively helping morale. Although, unfortunately, I don't have enough opium to export quickly. Let's stop exporting anything here. And maybe jump to furniture. Because furniture actually sells for kind of a... no, I don't want to import furniture. I want to export furniture. Because furniture sells for kind of a decent amount. I just need a good amount of sales is what I need. Well, my orcs are, the humans aren't. My orcs are very loyal, the humans, eh. Although, it seems like somebody's starving. And somebody's gone insane. And somebody has become deranged, which never helps morale. So we've lost a bunch of our morale, but it's still fine. We're still at, like, 95, although we are losing some happiness. Probably because of the deranged people. Oh, someone got mauled to death. That would, you know, probably not help. Okay, let's go to the tech tree and type in school. I think I may need paper for that. There it is. Let's unlock schools. I do think it's kind of funny that, like, I'm educating the orcs because they're not the smartest species in the game. It's like I'm indoctrinating humans and educating the orcs, and the humans are naturally smarter generally than the orcs. So I will need to import some paper for this. And now I just need a door. Oh, I have to actually put them in a usable spot for a door? That's madness. Absolute friggin' madness, man. Well, I still have a net of -4. But if I increase you to maximum, that should increase me above -4 for the pottery. That or I'll have to make another one. Doesn't mean they're stupid. When did I say that? I just simply said that they had less potential of being smart. They're not an intelligence-based race, whereas like the humans, like that's what they thrive in. Which admittedly I do find rather funny. You need some sleep? You have a good night's sleep, dude. All right, well, get a few more buildings done. Well, that's maximum efficiency for that potter. We have 20 odd jobbers around. I'm going to need to... A group of humans have decided to leave. Oh no! Anyway, what do we have here? And stockade, jailers. So I got 2 jailers and 1 person in a stockade. That's kind of funny. All right, so let's export, import. Let's import paper. And let's drop this wood supply down in here. We'll just increase paper. So we're gonna try and bring in some paper. I don't currently have much in the way of money though, so we'll see what we'll be able to bring in. But we'll be on tomorrow, Neutron, so maybe we'll see you then. Okay, so you're exporting coal. And you're gonna export... You know, I might actually export bread. Actually, why don't we export grain? Doing on houses. Okay, we've run out of housing. Which is a good sign, actually. Means that I need more. is not necessarily a bad thing. Because our population is kind of jumping. The impressive thing right now is that we actually have an alcohol surplus. Wonder how long that's gonna last. How's our pottery levels doing? Still losing pottery with time, but let's go up to here. Let's go to here and type in pot. And not that kind of pot. Because this is just passive upgrades, right? These just give me small upgrades. There we go. So I'm now making more pottery than I'm using. Hell yeah. That's what you love to see. And our alcohol supply is actually crawling up. That's awesome. This right here just needs cloth. Which currently I don't think I'm importing. If all the games of your wet dreams are seeing a fully built and planned out city building is a real one. Yeah, I wish this game just came with a couple, like, and it might even, like, just a few pre-built cities. So you could just see, like, here's 10,000 dudes running around in a city. Like, I kind of get city envy when I play this game. Like, none of my cities ever look anywhere near as cool as a lot of the screenshots that I see in this game. Like, I feel like in Dwarf Fortress, I can make screenshots that compare to some of the coolest screenshots out there. This game, not so easy. So I got 32 fabric coming in, which will be enough for this. There we go. We're now building the school. So we can begin educating and indoctrinating. Indoctrinating humans, those that are still left, and educating my orcs. Because they are the ones that matter. Truly. So this is the education levels in the city. All this red. Yeah. Also no available paper. Guess that means I have to keep importing paper. It's not a cheap import, let me tell you. Oh my god. I actually have a surplus of booze. That is kind of incredible to me. Gonna do a singular sale of alcohol. Actually, you know what? Instead of me setting this up to sell alcohol, let's just actually build that tavern. Question is, where in the world do I put it? Okay, so over here I'm gonna lower cotton down to 0. Lower stone down to 0. I'm gonna move clay over to here. And also metal bars and maybe paper. Okay, so this room right here I'm just gonna get rid of. This is going to become my tavern. So get rid of walls. Actually, let's rebuild this as a wooden building. Can I not I guess I have to, like, renovate it to replace these walls, but that's fine. We'll just go with these walls then. Just gonna make a little house right there, or a little space right there. This right here for knickknacks along there. And then some carpets. I guess I'm just going to be importing cloth forever until I can make it myself. You cannot build up. There is no Z levels in this game, which may be my most answered question about this game, is that you cannot build up. There's no way to build up. Let's also sell coal. Instead of that. Sure, but there isn't Z levels in this game. And when people start asking, can you build up, they assume it means Z levels. So I'm not going to go start stating that this game has something to give people the impression that it has a thing when it doesn't really have that thing. Giving people the wrong impression is never really a good idea. Okay, so let's get this constructed real quick. So I just need that last tree to be removed, and then the materials need to be brought over. Yeah, that just needs cloth to be delivered. Oh crap, I just realized I am overselling something. I'm overselling the hell out of this. Sell booze instead. So I desperately need to make sure that we maintain a good supply of charcoal. So if I don't, then we're going to be in trouble. Okay, so this right here, you're going to import cloth. So my net gain on alcohol is 155, which means I guess we finally broke through the limitation of alcohol. If you're the annoying little kid, that is the surefire way to get removed from my chat, just FYI. Gosh, this game's satisfying to watch. Apparently I'm just completely out of leather, which is always fun. There's also a reason why people please isn't permitted in my chat. And why you won't see anything when you go type it in. I'm pretty firm on my rules. And you are finding them, my friend. If you type in !children, you'll figure it out pretty quick. Should be pretty clear and self-explanatory. Speaking of self-explanatory, chat, I've been streaming for 9.5 hours. My brain's getting a little tired, and this game's starting to melt it. I didn't make a ton of progress. I mean, we got some stuff done. I unlocked a few things. We've got some buildings half done, which, you know, is slow progress. We're also starting to finally build that gem mine, which is going to suddenly use up all of my population. I think we can, however, clear through this. Oh no, we're going to have a bad harvest this year. We'll probably be okay, though. This is my next main project, which is the construction of a gem mine. This gem mine is going to be good friends with this warehouse, and this warehouse is literally just going to store gems. But the purpose of this gem mine is to grow the general wealth of my orcs, so that this can become the orcish powerhouse. But in order for that to happen, we need to have valuables that they can equip. We're going to go raid somebody in a little bit. Soul Shiner, if you want to stick around for a little bit longer. Otherwise, we'll see you when we see you. Should be on tomorrow. Oh, Bob, glorious blob, it's been too long. Okay, well, I guess I will give you all of this stuff that you demand, because I don't really have an option. Can't quite fight you just yet. Maybe we'll get there eventually. I'll let the extortion continue. Being a kid in and of itself is a bad thing, but childlike behavior on a website that, one, requires adults, and two, on a stream that is very much not rated kid-friendly, yeah, you do kind of need to, you know, be an adult. Or at least act presentable as one. But no, I understand that it was a joke. I'm just very blunt. Also, we're definitely into summer because I've been smelling cigarettes all day. It's like somebody's practically smoking on my patio. Turns out everything uses wood. And we're out of wood. Wow. They do genuinely take forever to fill these things. But no, you're all good, Maduro GG. My channel's a little, abnormal, shall we say. And I am acutely aware of this, so. Well, we sold all of the alcohol. Let's sell vegetables and sell... We are gaining... I don't know where these mushrooms keep coming from. I guess it's just like a seasonal thing. Let's just sell furniture. 'Cause again, it sells pretty well. This turns out I need money if I want to actually get anything going. Too many options, too little space. I am a newbie at this game, so I'm probably not going to give you the best advice. So let me know when you figure it out. I just build a lot of warehouses and specialize them. I don't know if that's a good strat. It's just the strat that I use because it sort of works most of the time. But I'm not going to pretend that that is like a good strat. The devs needed to add a few options like that for a while, but there is a particle effects and lighting effect thing that I have turned all the way up that does nullify it a bit. The thing that I want is the ability to stop trees from shaking on the highest move speed. But, yeah, I don't disagree. There's definitely some visual tweaks that this game could make that would make it a lot more pleasant for certain people. So we are basically out of housing at this point. Definitely, yeah. It's just a very seasonal thing, which is why I was suddenly surprised, like, where'd these mushrooms come from? But the reason I was mostly surprised is because I don't think I'd had it in my, as an option in my storage until just now. Cramp, thank you very much for the 41st month. Welcome back, dude. It's a goddamn long time. Thank you very much for continuing to support this channel for a goddamn long time. Chat, can I get a big round of beers? For the first notification of money for the streamer here in 2.5 hours. Thank you very much for being the first notification in 2.5 hours and helping keep the good brain chemicals flowing in my stupid noggin. And also, YouTube chat, thanks for hanging out. Well, maybe not all at once missing, but one of them is usually missing something. Sorry guys, I need to go into your access and remove some of your access to cloth. 'Cause I need cloth so that we can get some things done. And give your access back after we get them things done. All right, so there is our first tavern. It's got drinks available. And apparently I just upgraded it. Not actually sure how I managed that, but our first tavern is now available and functional. It has booze in it, so you know it must be a success. It appears that entertainment is increasing ever so slightly, but harmony is decreasing. I love how they're very happy that there's no corpses in the ground. Oh, interesting. I wonder why they want rations specifically. Anonymous, thanks for checking out a gift to Meat Buddy, and Anonymous, thanks for gifting out a gift to Finnegan. Thank you. It's very kind of you. Double gifts from Anonymous. As we move to also setting up another grain farm. You know, I'll be honest with you guys. I cannot remember what building makes rations. It's a ration maker, I think, is what I recall it being, but it might also have changed. selling grain. It's furniture, veggies. You need to stop exporting this stuff. I'm just sitting on 0 charcoal, and that isn't good. Let's swap over to exporting opium again. Can you build lanterns on the street? I think those are under decorations. Yeah, well, you can build torches, but they require metal, which I don't have much of. I mean, we could build some in the central zones. But I do have pretty limited metals, so... Let's get that stuff built. I'm sure that'll do. Problem is it uses metal, which is a very expensive, very finite resource for me, so... But we're getting these little fired sconces, shall we say. They also really want proper temples.
Woot woot.
Shutterbug, thank you very much for the 7 months. Appreciate you. Chat room, can I get another round of beers? For our friend here. Thank you much, dude. Woot woot indeed, yes. Slow passive wooting, followed by whooping. I just want to get this sucker done. This is kind of the final thing I really wish to finish completing. So I have 52 extra workforce, and loyalty's okay. It's mostly bad due to lack of food, which honestly we can fix by simply making better farms. But you know, we are getting there. We're harvesting today. So, and for these we are harvesting tomorrow. These we are harvesting today, so, you know, we're getting there. There goes the veggies in a moment, eh? Yeah, veggies are climbing. Fruits are going to do the same thing in a moment as well. This is 47% done. We've got these houses getting finished. Then people can move in if they, for some reason, want to. Because you have to fill it from the river for the bathhouse. Water used to be a lot more ephemeral. Now it matters a lot. So I'm trying to figure out how to make it work properly by plopping that close to the river. And then as we get closer to it, I'll figure it out. Another game introduced by this channel that'll consume your life. What if I also told you that the demo is free and is the full game? I know that's a weird thing to say. The demo is free. That's a given, right? But the demo is the full game. It's just a few versions behind. So you don't actually need to buy this game to get a taste. Okay, so this right here, once this sucker's done being built, they're all going to move in real quick. This is going to be food, probably. And, not a huge amount of food, but food and gems is what we're going to store in here. Also, I'm losing science. That's interesting. I wonder how that happened. I have to make another research station pretty soon. So this, we're just going to put a little bit into veggies, and then the rest is just going to be gems. Let's say veggies, a little bit of booze, and a little bit of bread. But now, we are producing gems. Pretty sure these gems are limited too. I don't think these are infinite gem resources. Yeah, it's a 16% deposit, so there's 16% in there. So once I'm sitting on just like a big old surplus, I'm gonna allow the orcs to bring, or to keep gems is what I'll do. We also need to move more farms down there. And this is going to eat up another 14 workers. My opium supply is skyrocketing again. I love to see it. And I am going to fly all the way up here, I think. You're exporting furniture, you're exporting veggies, which I think I'm going to stop exporting on both of these, and you're exporting opium, and you're importing clothing. Let's stop exporting you. Jump over to fruits instead. All right, chat. It's time for me to do a quick save. And I think it's time for us to call it. This game's fun. We'll be playing more of it, because I do enjoy this game. And chat room, thanks for the anonymous gift subs at the end there. First try is always free. Go for it. Yeah, definitely try this game, because this game is fantastic. And, you know, it's made by a solo developer, too, and he's got a wife and kids, and you got to support a family. You know, you're supporting an entire Swedish family by buying this video game. I'll tell you that. But Twitch chat, we're shutting down the YouTube stream first. So YouTube, if any of you guys are still watching, thanks for hanging out. It's good to have you. And we will see you on the aforementioned flip side. As always,